It's hard to measure a dog's intelligence because there are different kinds of smarts. A dog can be good at herding but not so keen on retrieving, and his ability to learn based on environmental cues can also depend on training and the bond the dog has with its humans. Long story short, there are a lot of arguments that can be made about how to tell when our four-legged friends are truly intelligent. But here are a few breeds that most animal lovers agree tend to show some wisdom most often. Australian Cattle Dog. If you've seen Mad Max 2, you know what an Australian cattle dog is. They're also called blue or red heelers, and they're sort of the all-around genius of the dog world. They're a fairly new breed who are believed to be part Australian Collie and part wild dingo. But no one argues that the ranchers on the outback were trying to create a dog that was smart and tough enough to operate as sort of an independent ranch hand. Australian cattle dogs know how to keep quiet and work without needing much guidance, and they can entertain themselves. Border Collie. Also big in the brains department are Border Collies, which boast what's called instinctive intelligence, or intelligence that's been passed down for generations. At the same time, you may have heard of a famous pooch named Chaser who knows more than 1,000 words, understands basic grammar concepts, and can use the process of elimination to figure out new words. You probably know people who have a more limited vocabulary than that, so Chaser is a perfect example of what some dogs are capable of if we just take the time to teach them, especially in this breed. Labrador Retriever. Like a lot of our smartest dogs, Labrador Retrievers became popular because they were bred to do a certain job and excelled at it. The earliest Labrador Retrievers were put to work alongside the fishermen of the North Atlantic as a sort of adorable deckhand. They hauled in fishing nets, fetched gear, and retrieved the occasional fish. Thriving through the 1700s and almost extinct by the 1880s, they were rescued by English families who valued the dogs because they were sweet enough to be a family dog and smart enough to earn their keep by learning almost any task they were presented with. You see Labrador Retrievers all over, and that's because they're high flyers with adaptive intelligence. That's the kind of intelligence that helps dictate how good a dog is going to be at learning completely new tasks and solving problems. That means they are great at learning everything from search and rescue and explosive detection techniques. And let's not forget...
What? God, they're adorable!
German Shepherd. German Shepherds have retained the instinctive intelligence that makes them efficient at their original jobs of herding and protecting, which was what they were first bred for in the late 19th century. But it's their adaptive intelligence that puts them at the top of the other classes too, from police and military service to assistance and even acting.
Are you even paying attention to me?
There's a reason so many canine actors are German Shepherds, and it's because they're not just a pretty face. Rottweiler. They might have a reputation for being terrifying, but when raised properly, Rottweilers can be laid back, affectionate, and devoted to their family. It's that devotion and sense of protectiveness they were bred for, and that's exactly why they need to be intelligent. Early Rottweilers were bred to herd cattle and pull carts, and were among the first to be recruited into service as police and military dogs. And in order to be such alert, observant dogs, they need to be one step ahead of anything that might pose a threat. They're always waiting, watching, and assessing situations like the good watchdogs that they are. Jack Russell. The dog world's foremost example of big things coming in small packages, Jack Russells have been around for centuries. They're believed to have originated in England as fox hunting dogs, and once people started hunting less, their big personalities kept them popular as household companion dogs. Their particular kind of intelligence is channeled into their personality, and since they honestly love whatever task you might set them to, they're the embodiment of the philosophy that if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. They're smart and energetic enough to love just hanging out and joining in whatever you want to do, and it's no coincidence you often see them in movies and television, either because they're easy to train, quick to catch on to new things, and super eager to please. There's one big, super intelligent bit of wisdom we should all adopt from the Jack Russell's point of view. Love your life. Thanks for watching. Click the grunge icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.